Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we're about to see actually a deck list that was requested from one of you. As you can see right there, I was asked for a pure NEOS deck to make it actually competitive, and this is actually a task I already tried to accomplish. It was, I think, back a year ago, and I actually reached King of Games with this at least once. I'm almost sure about that. And actually testing this deck in the King of Games, because now that I'm recording is still October, so as you're gonna see some replays from the King of Games rank, this actually still works. I made some adjustment, you know, for the meta, and of course because we had the extra monster slot and also the extra deck slot. So it is actually you can see now how it works. He can have some brick handy sometimes, but I think that most of the times it's actually pretty good. Especially it is a little bit better thanks to the reinforcement as well that we had. We can add both the NEOS Space Connector and a NEOS Patient, the Aqua Dolphin. So definitely pretty good. But before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with Duel, and the skill I'm about to use is Wounded Hero. So for all who do not remember what it does, basically when you're taking a certain amount of damage, you can special summon an elemental hero from your deck that has an attack equal or lower to the amount of damage you took until the that turn during the duel. So this is of course just summon your NEOS just in case it is in your deck still and you need it, of course. Also, this deck it is a little bit stronger thanks to NEOS Fusion, that it is actually now at 3, and we have only 2 Brave NEOS, but that's fine. And let's start actually with the deck list itself. We have triple NEOS Space Connector, but we have to tell one thing first. That is why the main, extraordinary combo that is out of the ordinary in these NEOS Patients is the ability to summon GORGONIC Guardian. Why do we want to summon GORGONIC Guardian? We already have something to, endure to resist during our opponent's turn, because we have both the Beacon Saver that we can set to the graveyard with NEOS Fusion that can actually stop one attack, and we have the NEOS Fusion itself into the graveyard that we can banish to avoid the destruction of one of our NEOS Fusion monster. But that is not enough. So we have this spicy play. Why GORGONIC Guardian? Because during your opponent's turn, and of course during also yours, because this is a quick effect, you can detach one to target one monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0 and its effect are negated until the end of the turn. So that's pretty nice. It's actually our turn 1 play, and how do we summon him? We need 2 level 3 rock type monsters, and actually our Grand Mole happens to be rock type, so the combo is pretty easy. You want to have a Grand Mole in the graveyard that you can send, of course, the previous turn with the NEOS Fusion, or in the same turn with Convert Contact. This is actually your path upgrade, but a little bit better in terms of effect, because it lets you discard a card from your hand and a card from your graveyard, so it thins the deck a little bit. But of course it is not as good as part of grid, because you need to control no monsters, and of course you need to have a new special monster in your hand. So that's of course the bad thing. But once that you have a Grand Mole in the graveyard, your NEOS Space Connector becomes 1 card XYZ for your GORGONIC Guardian, or if you have either the Grand Mole or the Aqua Dolphin, your NEOS Space Connector can be 1 card Contact Fusion, because with the first effect on normal summon, you get to special summon a NEOS or a NEOS Patient monster from your deck. So of course if you want to go into your GORGONIC Guardian, you need to summon a Grand Mole from your deck, and then use the second effect, of course, to tribute this card and target 1 NEOS or NEOS monster in your graveyard and summon it. So if you summon a Grand Mole from the deck and the other one from the graveyard with the second effect, you basically have 2 level 3 that you can use to go into your Gorgonic Guardian. Or of course, if you have your NEOS and you want to go into a Grand Mole, in your Grand NEOS, of course you can summon either a Grand Mole, and with the other effect you can special summon an Elemental Hero NEOS. You have both on the field and you can summon your Grand NEOS on from your extra deck. Then we have 1 Aqua Dolphin and 1 Hummingbird, because we want to have access to this crazy boy right here, Stormy NEOS, that can basically deal with anything because it has its bad effect of the end phase. You have to shuffle this card back to the extra deck, but when you do, you can shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. That's pretty good, especially if you have a card like Next in your hand or the Back and Saver in the graveyard, so you can feel safe and shuffle anything back to the deck. But of course, you can also use this card, the second effect, during your opponent's turn. How can you do it? You have to make sure to have a NEOS fusion to banish when the effect is gonna be activated during your hand phase, and wait so to activate it to your opponent's hand phase. So actually there's gonna be nothing on the field for your turn, and you can actually try to go for lethal. Then we have 1 NEOS, and this is actually the only bad thing I'm not 100% sure about. You might need a couple of NEOS, but in the same time I'm afraid that playing 2 NEOS will increase the break chances. So actually I want to leave it up to you. How it makes you feel playing 2 NEOS or 1? In the end, I decided to play 1. I think it's just better, but I'm not gonna lie, there were some duels where I wish I had the second one, because it can happen, of course, that if you send the first one to the graveyard with NEOS fusion, you cannot use any other NEOS fusion unless you have a Miracle Contact first or a Next first, or for example, NEOS Space Connector. So keep in mind that. Then we have the reinforcement of the army, that of course can be pretty good, not only to look for your NEOS Space Connector, your 1 card Xyz, but also to look for a NEOS, the Aqua Dolphin, if you have your Convert Contact in your hand. And keep in mind that when the Convert Contact goes actually in play, your duel, of course, you're gonna have a higher chances of winning the duel, because you're gonna thin the deck, you're gonna fill your graveyard, you're gonna draw a couple of cards. So of course, you know, when you play Convert Contact and you manage to resolve the effect, is always a good thing. Of course, the triple NEOS fusion, a couple of Miracle Contact can be pretty nice, because this allows you to have multiple summons during your turn, especially if you go Miracle Contact and NEOS fusion. And last but not least, Next. This was another doubt right here, because I'm still in doubt if playing 3. But 2 could be fine. This card is just crazy, because when you have no cards on your field, you can actually activate this card from your hand. So that's unpredictable, of course, because it's literally an end trap, and you can summon up to 3 monsters either from your hand or graveyard. So that's really good, honestly. And of course you can use it even in an offensive way, because during your turn you can start with this, summon a bunch of guys from the deck, from the graveyard or hand, and go for your contact fusion. For example, you can summon a NEOS and a Grand Mole to go directly into Grand NEOS before using your NEOS fusion. So that's pretty good. You're gonna see, actually check the replays, guys. You're gonna see some crazy play, and I actually annihilated both the other hero version, the favorite duel version and the Omni hero version with Vion and the other stuff. So that was pretty nice to see. Guys, that was all for the explanation. I hope it didn't take too long, and we can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. First replay interrupting a 2-win streak against Playmaker and AI. It's him to begin, and he's got Lady Debug, adding a Darkscaper, so it's not a Stallion Great, nice to see it. It's just his, I think, Decal Talker deck. So let's see what he has. He's got the Darkscaper's effect, and go with Microcoder in his hand, with Lady Debug to go into Card Talker. First Link Summon, then the effect of Microcoder to get a Cross Swipe to his hand. So he's got, of course, a Cross Swipe, he's got a couple of back rows, that's fine. We have very good hand with Convert Contact, sending that stuff to the graveyard, actually the Grand Mole to the graveyard, NEOS Space Connector, summoning the other Grand Mole, then NEOS Space Connector to summon the second Grand Mole. There you go, Gorgonic Guardian number 1 to begin with, using the effect. but not to negate. But because he has another effect, you can pop a monster that has 0 attack, and we actually already had the monster with 0 attack, so I actually started using that effect. Then he chained the crosswipe, but I chained the quick effect to negate this monster's effect and put his attack to 0. So then NEOS fusion into Brave NEOS, and of course thanks to a convert contact, I already have a couple of NEOS guys at the graveyard, so my Brave NEOS becomes bigger, and then the effect to grab a miracle contact, because I have of course the Beacon Saber as a protection. But keep in mind that with the effect of Brave NEOS you can also add a next to your hand, so an end trap that is actually searchable. Then he's got a second Lady Debug to begin with, another microcoder to his end, then he's got the mathematician subtraction, as you can see right there. Pretty nice stuff with Elphase being summoned, and then with the effect of microcoder, Linktree Deckle Talker. There you go, the animation. It's got the effect of Elphase to summon a monster from the graveyard, and then the effect of microcoder to have sign it back to his end. But that is not gonna be enough. Code extended to actually attack, to go for lethal, but he forgot that I have my NEOS fusion, so nothing happens right there. At this point, miracle contact to begin with, summoning the Grand NEOS, using the effect to make the Deco Talker come back to hand. NEOS fusion again to go into second Brave NEOS. At this point, there's nothing you can do. You can just attack. The Signet Vector wouldn't have saved him. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Here we go, my boys. This was the third win in a row. Keep in mind, guys, these are all from King of Games rank. Now that I'm recording is October still, so we have Kai Thenja to begin with. He's got the Galaxy Wizard to grab to his end Galaxy Zero. He went straight away with Galaxy Zero, summoning the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and he just had a turn. But this is just to show you guys that even if he had the Photon Lord to negate an effect, we have this stuff. We have NEOS Space Connector to summon the Grand Mole, then using the effect to grab the second Grand Mole. There you go. Gorgonic Guardian to begin with, and then a NEOS fusion to go into Grand NEOS to make that come back to hand. So even if he negates one effect, I can always use the other one. That's honestly pretty good. And keep in mind, if you negate the effect with Gorgonic Guardian and you put its attack to 0, you can always pop it, because of course it is not undestructible by card effects anymore, because you just negated that. That's pretty cool. Of course, a very nice combo to pull out with the NEOS, with the pure NEOS deck, because guys, keep in mind that these deck has no stable in it, so pretty nice. Third duel, my boys. This was one of the first hero deck to face. It was my turn to begin with. I just had my NEOS, but I felt pretty confident because I had my next in my hand. I decided to see what was he playing, so I went with Aqua Dolphin to actually check his hand, but he had to chain the DT Crow to banish the Beacon Saber, and I just popped the Grand Mole. So as you can see right there, it was a favorite duel deck because he has Heavian and Restricted. There you go, favorite duel to summon to add the Miracle Fusion. He went with Restricted actually to destroy my Aqua Dolphin and nothing more. That's fine, honestly. Then I just set the next, just because I wasn't sure of him, you know, getting rid of this, and I wanted to be able to use next, even if I had already, if I had my Brave NEOS still on the field. That's why I set it. Also, I grabbed the NEOS Fusion because now I have a way to summon NEOS back on the field with the next, of course. He's got the second favorite duel to send the NEOS to the graveyard. He's got Miracle Fusion this time to go directly into a NEOS Knight that is actually a trouble. And then he went, he's not done yet. Second Miracle Fusion added the previous turn to go into Flame Wingman. So of course we just have to be careful right here, because we do not want this guy to pop this, otherwise we're gonna have to take tons of damage. So as soon as he attacks with NEOS Knight, I just let him pop it, and I decided to take the 2100 in the face, and then end phase next to summon both the NEOS and the Grand Mole. So at this point, just to begin with, we had the Grand Mole. There you go. He had the Book of Moon, but we're still chilling because we can use NEOS Fusion for the second Grand Mole. At this point, Grand Mole to the effect to make the Fling Wing gonna come back to deck. I mean, there are literally 99% chances that he cannot summon that again. So then I just attacked, taking advantage of his own skyscraper. That's how you do it. And then Grand NEOS can just come back to deck because we already have a defense right there. But look at this. This was like the best Destiny draw ever, like the best anime Destiny draw. He actually plays and managed to draw it in a 17 card deck. I mean, look at how many chances there were to draw parallel world fusion that actually fusion summon elemental hero fusion monster by returning to the deck monster that were banished. Are you kidding me? He went with NEOS Knight again, look at that, and at this point he can just attack. Of course I let him pop it because there was no point in wasting my NEOS fusion, and that's fine. Now it's us to go convert contact because I have the hummingbird, drawing the Granule. What was the problem here? That I had no more NEOS SPACIAN in the deck, so I couldn't use another convert contact. I had to risk it. I just attacked and make it come back to deck with the effect of Granule. He just picked a set card. At this point I just picked the best card, NEOS Peace Connector, to either go into a Grand NEOS, of course, because I could have summoned the Granule from my hands and the NEOS from the graveyard, or I could have just gone into the Gorgonic Guardian. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Here we go, my boys. This was against Black Rose. It's a long time to see you. So he's got the skill to begin with, the White Rose Dragon, to summon the Rocks Rose. That other, of course, adds the Basil Rose Shoot, a triple set card, and Yazi, Evil of the Yangtze. That's fine. It's us to go first. Pretty bad hand, as you can see right there. So I summoned this guy, sending the hummingbird, and then I set the Pagan Saver. I didn't send the Granule because I was planning on summoning the Storm NEOS to get rid of everything right there. So he let me pop it, that's fine, so I could actually add the Miracle Contact to my hand, so I can keep next as a defensive play. Hand phase, Basil Rose Shoot to summon the Rocks Rose back, and of course on summon he had just another one. Then Synchro Shogun into Baxia, that on summon can make my Brave NEOS come back to deck. Then the other effect to pop its own card, summon the Rocks Rose again, and then actually trigger the effect of Basil Rose Shoot. He's got the, actually I didn't use the effect because you used the other one, so now I used all three of the Basil Rose Shoot, and there you go, 3 Shula 0. I mean, he knew that this was a backhand saver, that's why he went for this play. Pretty smart from his side, but I'm not done yet, my boys. Next, to save the day, summoning NEOS and the hummingbird, so no damage for me. At this point I just went with reinforcement of the army to grab the Aqua Dolphin and Miracle Contact to go into Storm NEOS. I was about to pop everything, but he went with Warning Point, so it actually would not come back to the actual deck. That was pretty fine. I still have my nice fusion to summon a Grand NEOS to make the Trishula come back to the actual deck so that we cannot trigger his effect when he leaves the field, and then attacking to get rid of Baxia. In the end phase I let him go actually to the extra deck because during my opponent's turn this will have shuffled it anyway, so now the effect is negated, but for next turn we're chilling. I think he forgot that. Look at that, he just had a monster, but in the end phase, Storm NEOS' effect activates. I mean, I could have negated that, but I actually wanted to clear the field. So everything comes back to the extra deck, and at this point, NEOS Peace Connector to summon a Grand Mole, then the effect to summon the other Grand Mole just to be chilling. There you go, Gorgonic Guardian. We have an interruption, we can just start attacking and lowering its life points. It's just a set monster. Then I attacked. Why? This was, you know, the thing I was talking about before. Now I have a NEOS fusion, but because NEOS in the graveyard, this is actually a dead card, I can't use it. But if I had another NEOS, it was actually lethal at this point. So he had the effect, as you can see right there, to grab the Rocks Rose Dragon back to hand. He went again with a set card and a set monster, Hummingbird to begin with, recovering some life points. I attacked and then go for the direct attack. He's still not done yet. He's got the Rocks Rose Dragon. I changed the effect of Gorgonic Guardian to negate that. So no effect, and at this point he just scooped. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Here we go, my boys. This duel is just to show you instead how most of the times Gorgonic Guardian is simply everything you need. An interruption with the negation effect, it's everything you need. So convert contact combo to basically have a couple of Grand Mole, as you can see right there. Gorgonic Guardian is there. I have nothing else. But look at this Stock Genius player. If you do not have Book of Moon, it's really tough to deal with this. That's why I mean Galaxy Ice deck is good because they can summon the Furon Lord, and if you have nothing to deal with that, you're in pretty big trouble. So he went with Star Guardian, but of course I can just negate that, so no additional summon, nothing, and he just scooped of its own. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, the other hero, actually mirror match. Is not a mirror match because I'm playing NEOS Patient, but it's got of course the Vision heroes as well, Omni heroes right there. So grabbing the first polymerization to go into the Sunrise, so he already had the Liquid Soldier in his hand, so of course draw 2 plus had your Miracle Fusion to your hand. He's got the Miracle Fusion play, of course, to go into the second Sunrise because apparently he's got nothing else to protect itself. So this is actually a pretty good turn because if you have anything to deal with these guys except battle, you're gonna have tough times because they're gonna of course pop one of your cards. So it starts to go. We have the perfect hand with Convert Contact, sending the stuff to the graveyard. Another Convert Contact, as you can see right there, and we grabbed the NEOS Space Connector finally. So there you go. I decided to go though not with the Gorgonic Guardian. Instead I actually went for summoning NEOS, then using second effect to summon Grand Mole, Contact Fusion into Grand NEOS, using its effect, making that come back to the extra deck, then NEOS Fusion, second Grand Mole, using the effect, come back to the extra deck, and then attacking twice. But look at that, it's got the Battling Boxer Veil. So actually we done nothing. Luckily for us we have the next, so we're chilling. Even if we do not have the back and 7 into the graveyard, it's got Wounded Hero to summon the Solid Soldier, then Stratus to grab another Stratus, and then it's just started with the polymerization again. Sunrise is again here, so Solid Soldier to summon back the Stratus on the field, grabbing the Miracle Fusion. This time Miracle Fusion to summon the second Sunrise once again. It's a deja vu. As soon as he attacks, there you go. Next to summon all 3 of my boys, so he pops everything. And now the problem, what's the problem here is that if I do not draw anything to recover these NEOS, my 2 NEOS Fusion are dead cards in my hand. I just grabbed the reinforcement, luckily for me, so I could grab the NEOS Space Connector, to summon the Grand Mole from the deck, and the second effect to make the NEOS come back from the graveyard. So first Contact Fusion again into Contact. It was a deja vu for him as well. So Grand NEOS number 1, then NEOS Fusion, this time into a Brave NEOS, as you can see right there. I just attacked, grabbing a Miracle Contact to my hand, and then popping the other Stratus, and then in the end phase the Grand NEOS comes back to deck, but that's fine. He's got the Stratus again to add a placement to his end. But that is not enough because I already have the Miracle Contact. I just started with NEOS Space Connector. Look at that, I was afraid of another Battling Boxer Veil, that's why I went with all this stuff. So first thing first, 1 card exceeds with the NEOS Space Connector. Gorgonic Guardian is here, then Miracle Contact to summon the Storm NEOS. Look at that, and we're not done yet. NEOS Fusion into the second Brave NEOS. At this point I can just attack. So to grab a next just in case, yes, I don't know what, I can just attack at this point with Storm NEOS. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. So guys, that was all for today's videos. I hope the guy that asked for the pure NEOS Patient deck is happy with this because it is pretty competitive. Of course, as you can see, the deck list, the main deck, it's all NEOS Patient and NEOS, of course, no staple, nothing, just the Bag and Saver, of course, and then we have no expensive staple, no Typhoon, really nothing. That works really good. The only issue, it is actually pretty free to play friendly, but the problem is that you need triple copy of Destructor. That is the only, trouble that you have to face. For the extra deck, the 2 Grand NEOS are pretty much mandatory, and then the other stuff, it's just okay. I mean, 2 Gorgonic Guardian mandatory as well, unfortunately. Guys, that was all. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.